Hi everyone, it's Rena from Perth IELTS and PTE Tutoring. I'm so sorry I haven't been around for 2 weeks. You wouldn't believe it. I had COVID. Yes, COVID's still going around, so yeah, I couldn't teach. I couldn't come up with any videos, nothing for a good long week. But I'm back and let's just jump straight into it. See ya. Hi everyone, it's Rena from Perth IELTS and PTE Tutoring. I'm a private tutor based in Perth, Western Australia, and today we're going to continue on with our web tutorial series focusing on PTE Academic. Now, what are we going to do today? We're going to do PTE Academic Writing. Specifically, we're going to talk about how to write an essay. Okay, so there are a few things I want to cover before we go into the tutorial and then the demonstration because I just have to say what I have to say as a tutor who's out here. Number one, you don't need a template. That is the first thing I would need to say. You do not need a template to get a high score in essay writing. Number two, it's an English proficiency test. Stop looking for ways to, instead of improve your English proficiency, you just want to stop looking for ways to cheat the system. Stop. It's an essay. Write an essay. Do the right thing. If you can speak English, if you can write in English, you can write an essay. Number three, you need structure and you need a method. That's all you need. So, first things first, you don't need a template. You do need proper English command. Work on your English proficiency. And number three, you do need structure and you do need a method. What do we need? Structure, method, English command. Do we need a template? No. Stop this template nonsense. Just stop. Okay? Stop looking for the easy way out. It's not benefiting you in any way and it's not benefiting any future PTE test takers. As you can see with the situation with PTE speaking, they have modulated and improved the scoring system. They will also start to improve the writing. Okay, PTE is growing as an exam. It only came on 2009. It's growing up. It's becoming more respectable. It's doing the right thing. Eventually it's going to catch on that you're all using templates and all your templates are identical. And all your templates at best are absolute crap. Because most of the time I see the vocabulary that you guys try to insert. In reality, I would never hear any of you actually speak like that. Why are you doing that? Stop. Just stop. You don't need a template. What you do need, structure, method, good English command. Next, we're going to go, before with the tutorial, we're going to go through a little bit of the scoring guide. Okay, I'm going to it's on the Pearson website, and then I'm also going to pull up the teacher's essay scoring guide, which Pearson releases to teachers for free. So for tutors out there who are learning how to teach, use the essay scoring guide. Stop giving your students templates and start teaching them how to write essays on their own within 20 minutes. Okay, so let's jump straight into it. See you in a minute. All right, friends, so here we are. I'm looking at the test taker's score guide, which is taken straight from Pearson itself, okay? So let's make sure I have... So you can see this is for test takers. What I will show you later is the version for teachers. Let's do a nice thick one. Okay, and let's change the color to red so I can mark all over this page. Okay. So now we're going to go straight down to the table of contents, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the CAT system that is used to mark your stuff. Okay, automated scoring. We're going to jump straight to page 13. Okay, I'm going to make the screen nice and wide later so that you can see what I mean. Okay, let's zoom right in, shall we? Okay, so let's talk about scoring written English skills. Here we are, I've zoomed in for you. Okay, let's talk a little bit about CAT. So, The written portion of PTE Academic is scored using the Intelligent Essay Assessor, the IEA, which basically is just a fancy name for their scoring tool. The scoring tool is powered by this thing called CAT, Knowledge Analysis Technologies. It's scored by a CAT engine. Now, what they claim here is that the CAT engine evaluates writing as accurately as skilled human markers using a proprietary application of the mathematical approach known as latent semantic analysis. Okay? The CAT engine seems to understand the meaning of text, much the same as a human does. Do you believe that for a second? No. Okay? I don't care what Pearson tells you. CAT cannot replace the skills of a human assessor. And I will show you later when they compare the scores. Okay? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at what they actually want to look at for written work. Okay, for the essay. Let's go straight down, 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 down. Here we are. That's also out of 15. Okay, written. So scoring for written includes 7 traits. Okay? Look over here. The task write essay is scored on 7 different traits: content, form, development, structure and coherence, grammar, general linguistic range, vocabulary range, and spelling. Look at this. Content is one class of its own. You can put these two in a class of its own: form and structure. Next, grammar and grammatical range is one. Vocabulary and spelling is one. So what do you need? You need content, you need a good format and structure, you need good grammar, and you need good spelling, good vocabulary. Okay? Total number of points is 15. Okay? You're aiming for 15. All right? So, for content, maximum you can get is 3. For everything else, it's 2. Okay? So, what does that tell you? Once again, that content matters. You need to produce content that is relevant to the question. Okay? And this is where your templates fail spectacularly. Stop using a template. You can somewhat use a template for structure and format. Can you use it for grammar? No. Can you use it for vocabulary? No, because I have seen what you guys produce when you write an essay using a template and you come up with some seriously bullshit words. Okay, words that you would never ever use in real life. Okay, so I'm trying to stop you guys from doing that. I'm trying to tell you guys you can do it on your own. You don't need a template. Okay, you just need to concentrate on content, format and structure, grammar, vocabulary. Okay? Now, let's talk a little bit about how the test taker is scored by CAT and how the test taker is scored by 2 humans and then 1 adjudicator, which is a person who then finally comes out and says, this is the final score. Okay? So let's take a look together. So B1 level is like a band 6 or so, maybe less. Okay. So the maximum score you can get is 15. The machine gave him 8.18. The first human marker gave him 5. The second human marker gave him 7. The third one, which is an adjudicator who gives the final score, gave him 6. Explain that to me. Explain it to me how the computerized system is a better marker. If anything, it can be duped and it's producing scores that seem to be higher than what your level actually is. Okay, and I know this is the reason why you guys want to choose PTE instead of IELTS or TOEFL. But in reality, they're going to catch up soon. Okay, let's look at another one. So this is a B2 level, which is slightly lower. Okay. Oh, sorry, slightly higher. Sorry. Maximum 15. The machine gave it a 9.84, which is close to 10. First human being gave it 8, second being gave it 6, and adjudicator gave it 9, a generous 9. Okay? If you round out this number 9.84, it's going to be rounded to 10. Did it match the human markers? No, it absolutely did not. Okay? Now, let's move on to the teacher's scoring guide, okay? Friends, so here we are. We are at the guide for teachers that teachers are given. Let me make sure I can draw a little bit for you guys. Okay, so as you can see, it's PTE Academic Institution. The first one I showed you was the test taker's guide. And here's another interesting part. It has been updated November 2024. Okay? Now, automated scoring. Scoring written English skills and scoring spoken. Let's take a look-see, page 14. Okay, so blah, 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 blah. All this rubbish that they have to spew about their test. Let's talk about it. Again, they tell us about CAT. They tell all the teachers about CAT, the CAT engine. Okay? Next, it analyzes large bodies of relevant text, and the CAT engine understands the meaning of text much the same as humans. Okay? It can be tuned to understand and evaluate text in any subject area, and it includes built-in detectors for off-topic responses. So basically, it's got a built-in bullshit radar, okay, which I don't believe. It does not actually have that. It might detect that there are no actual keywords or vocabulary that's linked to the question, but can it detect completely off-topic responses? Probably not. For example, if I asked you, do you like chicken or beef? And you go, you know what, Reina, I really like fish. You are talking about food, but you didn't directly answer my question. Cat is not going to be able to as accurately determine that you are not exactly answering the question. It knows you're talking about food, and many of you and many of your teachers and YouTubers out there have been taking advantage of this situation, and it's going to change, okay? But that's all right. So, what I'm going to talk about a little bit in this one is again, I think they might show us the same statistics for teachers. Test taker responses, B1, B2, and then C1. C1 is a very high level of English. Okay. Written samples. Okay. So C1. Machine gave it 15. Human gave this essay an 11. Don't you think that's a serious problem? That is a huge difference. Okay? Next. To make the total score from human rating comparable to the machine score, we need to take the score as a proportion of the maximum obtainable score by dividing the observed total score by the maximum total score. Okay? So once again, it's they tell you how it's marked, and I'm going to show you now how teachers are trained to teach you how to write these essays, okay? Here's another one. Maximum score is 15. The computer cat gave it 8.18. First human 5, second human 7, adjudicator 6. Try to convince me in the comments, privately message me, convince me that the AI technology is better than an actual human marker. It's not. It just isn't. And I know that's not what today's topic is about, but I want you to realize that you are spending money on a test that is not even telling you the truth. Okay? IELTS is a far better gauge of your writing skills. No matter how much you dislike the test, why you have chosen PTE, what your motivations were, why your mates are doing PTE, therefore you think you need to do PTE. Push comes to shove, when it comes to accurate assessment of your writing, IELTS is superior. Okay? Now, here's another one I'm going to show you, which is the Teacher's Essay Score Guide. And this helps us teach you how to write essays. I know this too is getting a little bit long, but there'll be lots of things that we can cut and paste and make shorts out of it, and there's all sorts of things we can do with this. Okay, see you in a second with a new document. So here I am with the teacher's essay score guide. As you can see, again, it is from Pearson, straight from Pearson. Okay, let's make it nice and big for you because I want you to see exactly how teachers like myself will teach you how to make really good answers and produce essays that are high quality without using a template. Okay, in using your own original language. Okay, first, let's go down to understanding the scoring, which we don't really need to do because we get it. Okay, so essay scoring guidelines. How do I give students a 3? If they adequately dealt with the prompt. If I asked you, do you like chicken or beef? And you say, Rena, I really like fish, but on Saturdays I eat chicken. Did you adequately deal with the prompt? The answer is no. So I'm going to probably give you a 1. Do you understand what I mean? If you directly answer the question in the form of an essay, I will give you 3. Do you like chicken or beef? You can say, I like chicken. And then you can expand. I really like chicken. I like it cooked like this or whatever. Okay, so that's what you need to think about when you're writing an essay, directly answering the question. Okay, next, format. Formal requirements are really, really important. Okay, and this is something that we're going to go through ourselves together when we do our tute. So, minimum required words 200 to 300. Okay, anything less than 120 or more than 380 words, you get 0 on all traits, my friends, not just on format. Okay, you will get 0 if you write less than 120 words. Okay, if you write more than 380 words, we all know for a fact that you are just writing rubbish. Okay, so length between 200 and 300, you get a full score of 2. Length between 120 and 199, or 301 and 380, you get 1. Anything outside of those parameters, you get 0. Okay, so now you already know how teachers mark it. Answer the question, full marks. Stay within the range, full marks. Let's keep going. How do you get 15? Okay, next. This is where a lot of you might struggle. Development, structure, and coherence. Did you answer the question? Rina, I really like chicken. This is how I like it. So you develop your answer. Did you structure your answer in a way that makes sense? And do your ideas flow? Now, of course, it's marked by cat and not by a human, so your coherences can be sometimes a little bit less accurate. Development, structure, and coherence are scored according to the organization of the response, demonstrating good development of ideas and a logical structure. Basically, all you need to do is answer it in a formal academic essay format. You need an introduction, body, conclusion. A minimum of 3 paragraphs, ideal is 4. Okay? A minimum of 3 paragraphs, please. 1 to introduce, to directly answer the question, 1 to expand on your reasons, to develop your answer, and number 3, to conclude your essay. Introduction, body, conclusion, structure. Okay? Shows good development and a logical structure. Absolutely full marks. If you answer in 1 paragraph and you lack the logic and mostly consists of lists or loose elements such as I like chicken, KFC is delicious, beef is not eaten in my country, none of that shit makes sense. Stop. Okay? Answer the question directly. If I ask you and your name is John, I said, John, do you like chicken or beef? Rena, I really like chicken. This is how I eat it. This is where I get it from. Okay? Answer your answer directly and then develop your answer. Next, grammar and general linguistic range. Okay? Correct grammatical usage. Number 2. So to get full scores, this is not a problem for many of you. Okay? Many of you have learned, especially those of you from the subcontinent of India, you guys have excellent grammatical range. Okay? You are just using the templates as a crutch. So you show consistent grammatical control of complex language. Errors are rare, but not absent completely. They're just difficult to spot. Okay? You can either get 2 or 1. And in this situation, I really don't mind when my students get 1. It's no problem at all. Okay? In order to get a 0, you have to just do simple sentences. For example, I like chicken, right? No simple. You can write simple sentences, but you need a mix. Simple, complex, and compound sentences. Next, general linguistic range. Okay? If the language in the response accurately and precisely conveys the test taker's ideas. Now, sometimes you might come across somebody who doesn't speak English quite as well as you do, and you will find that while they have the basic grammar, they sometimes don't have the range or the appropriate words or collocations that might make their answer understandable. Okay? Look at how much what you need to get a 2. Smooth mastery of a wide range of language to formulate thoughts precisely, give emphasis, differentiate, and eliminate ambiguity. What does that mean? Directly answer the question. Don't be vague, don't be ambiguous. Directly answer the question and use good grammar and a variety of sentences in order to do that. Okay? Next, vocabulary range and spelling. These I lump them together, okay? It's scored by determining if the response shows a good command of a broad lexical repertoire. Okay, what does that mean? You basically have a large vocabulary, okay? But not just knowing large and big words. It's not just about having a bank of vocabulary and words that you can use. It's appropriate usage, okay? Appropriate use of big words. And this is where the templates seem to be failing you guys. You're using these really big words in the templates, and it's all regurgitated rubbish. It's very clear that sometimes you could get just a 1 or a 0 even when the vocabulary is inappropriately used. Next, spelling. Grammar is scored by examining the response to the correct grammatical usage, whatever. So this is a mistake, but that's okay. Look at that. They copied it. They, anyways. Spelling. Don't make spelling mistakes. If you can't spell the word, think of a different word. Okay, so I am done going on and on and on about this. Let's get straight to the tute. Thank you for sticking around for this long. I will now teach you how to get that 15 out of 15. So a quick tutorial on the subject, which is essay writing, and then I'm going to demonstrate for you. And you will see that I will produce these essays without a template in less than 10 minutes. Sometimes 12, depending if how much that time I spend perfecting it or looking through the grammar. Quite often, I don't even look at the grammar, I just want to mark it. Okay? All right, see you in a minute. All right, folks, so before I get into a few demonstrations, I want to go through a few basic points about the essay writing question type. Right? Remember, my system does not use a template. If you want a template, this is the wrong tutorial for you, my friends. So, let's start off with the no BS basics on how to write an essay. It contributes only to writing, and it contributes up to 17% of your final score. What actually happens on the test day? 1 or 2 questions with 20 minutes fixed time per question is given to you. A question or prompt is provided, and you are required to write a formal academic response in the form of an essay. Minimum word requirement is 200 and the maximum is 300. Remember the rules. If it is less than 120, you get 0 for format. If it's more than 350 or 380, you get 0 for format. All right, moving on. So what kind of skills do you need to ace the essay writing question? You need a typing speed of at least 25 words per minute. You need basic English grammar and punctuation knowledge. You do not need complicated grammar. You need to be able to answer a question directly and develop your ideas to further contribute to your answer. You need really, really good time management skills, okay? So it's all well and good to say, yeah, I can manage my time. I'm going to spit out something which is about 250 words in 20 minutes, but is it good quality? Okay? Next, so how is this BS question mark? Now, the reason I call it a BS question is because clearly, for the past decade, many of you have just been using templates and you're not actually answering the question. You're not actually proving any sort of proficiency in English. Therefore, this question is pretty useless because it's not actually assessing your English proficiency. But we need to know how to get the maximum number of marks, which is 15 points. You get 3 for content, 2 for form, 2 for structure, development, and coherence, which is format, expansion, and logic, 2 for grammar, 2 for grammatical range, 2 for lexical range, and 2 for spelling. As you can see, this is the Timu version of IELTS writing. It's basically just lexical range and spelling are 1, can be just vocabulary. Grammar and grammatical range is also 1. Structure, development, coherence is coherence and cohesion for IELTS. And content and form is task response. As you can see, this is obviously a more expanded version. So, what are the steps to a great outcome in less than 20 minutes? The main thing you need to do in the first place is to understand the question. If you don't understand the question, if you don't get the prompt, you're not going to be able to answer this question. Step 2, think of your answer to the question and explanations and come up with some explanations for your answer. For example, if the question asks you, do you like beef or chicken? And you say, I really like fish. Did you answer the question? No, you did not. You did not directly answer the question. And then you go on to explain about how fish is really tasty and healthy. That's completely irrelevant to the question. Yes, the question was about food, but it did not directly answer the question, which was if you like chicken or beef. Next, step 3, you need to plan the structure of your essay. There is a specific requirement for the essay structure. Okay? Step 4, type. Step 5, read your essay. Fix your grammar, spelling, and word count. Okay, remember the limits, 380 and 120. But your sweet spot is about 250. All right, so let's talk about the structure and format requirements for this question. A minimum of 200 words and a maximum of 300 words is required. You must follow a formal academic essay format, which is an introduction paragraph, followed by 1 or 2 body paragraphs, and followed finally by a concluding paragraph, which closes out the essay. You need to use appropriate vocabulary. Now, I've written here, WTF does this mean? What does this mean? I love when I see people using a range of vocabulary that they might not normally use, but when I see PTE academic essays, I can tell for sure a template has been used because they use really, really big, complicated words and excessively too. All right? And then they think, okay, I'm going to add in some words that I think are keywords and relevant to the topic. Because again, you're using a template and you're using vocabulary that is just not appropriate quite often. Next, you need to have basic good grammar with a range of different sentence structures, such as a simple sentence, a compound sentence, and a complex sentence. Okay, you need a variety of sentence types. Next, your typed response needs to directly answer the question with some elaboration, explanation, or examples. One idea I can give you is going back to that chicken or beef question. If I ask you if you like chicken or beef and you say sometimes I eat chicken on Saturdays, did you answer the question? No, you did not. Think about how you answer your questions. All right, let's move on. Next, let's talk about how we can do this whole essay in under 15 minutes. I understand that you are allocated 20 minutes, but we can get this done in less than 15 minutes, and I will show you how I do it on the demonstrations. I'm going to divide it up into 3 parts. The first 5 minutes, the middle 8 minutes, and the final 2 minutes. So the first 5 minutes is when we understand and plan. Now let's jump back to our previous slides, right? And we'll see that we need to understand the question, think of answers, and plan your answers. Next, 8 minutes is a long time to type 250 words. It's more than sufficient time, okay? So you spend 8 minutes, now that you've done a plan, completely just typing. And then you spend your final 2 minutes reading your own essay and making corrections if there are any to be made. Now, it's demonstration time. Your job now is to sit back, relax, and watch me type up some essays. To save time, what I will do is I will record myself typing up the essays and then fast forward it and do a voiceover if necessary. Okay? All right. See you in a minute, friends. All right, friends, so here I am at my APE Uni dashboard. Let's do some PTE practice for write essay. I don't know why it says practice one. Obviously, I don't do much practice for writing, but I am not worried about it at all. Let's do bioplastics. Over here, it says undone. As you can see, you should write 200 to 300 words. Okay, you've got 20 minutes to plan, write, and revise an essay on the topic below. Here is my timer. Topic: do you agree that the use of bioplastics is a crucial step towards reducing plastic pollution? Word count is 0. I need to get about 250. That's the sweet spot. Now, the first 5 minutes, as usual, I'm going to spend planning, coming up with ideas, and really understanding the question. Okay? So, main thing, it is a question of do you agree? You need to directly answer yes, I agree, or I do not agree, meaning I disagree. Okay? So here's how I'm going to plan it. I'm going to write my notes here. I know I need an intro, I need a body, and I need a conclusion. Okay? So that's our main structure of the essay. The intro directly answers the question. I do not agree. Okay? All right? For example, I do not agree. All right? Next, body. Why do I not agree? So let's say I'm going to say for in this situation I believe that the complete. So first reason is it still fosters dependence on single-use products. Okay? Next, another body paragraph could be alternative options. Options. Or I can keep going on with the why. Or more why. Okay? Conclusion. Repeat that I do not agree. Okay, so let's start with our introduction. All right, so introduction here, I've written that I do not agree. So first of all, they'll say, oh, you need to set a premise or come up with one of these introductory lines. You can just make one up. Stop looking for templates to do stuff like that. Like, or in this current climate, right? The growing population of humans, the growing population heavily depends on single-use plastics. Some suggest that bioplastics, all right, so then single-use plastics, which is extremely toxic to the environment as it is, as these plastics are non-biodegradable. With my timing, 16 minutes. Okay, so obviously I'm talking through this. I'm moving a little bit slower. Some suggest that bioplastics are a better option, as these synthetic plastics made from organic matter may be less harmful to the environment. I strongly disagree with this notion for a few reasons. The one main reason bioplastics are not reason the use of bioplastics is not a crucial step towards reducing plastic pollution is that it still requires, so here I go, okay, it still requires a lot of resources to be produced. And the usage of water, burning of biofuels to make these plastics is just as bad as using regular plastic. Therefore, it is not helpful in reducing plastic pollution. All right, it doesn't even need to make sense. Another reason one could say that bioplastics is not the way forward is because the use of disposable packaging, even if it is bioplastic, still fosters the attitude that things can be thrown away. All right, so then let's correct our grammar. Another reason one could say that plastic usage is not the way forward is because the use of disposable package, even if it is bioplastic, still fosters the attitude that things can be thrown away. This will in turn cause an increase in production of bioplastics, which will then further erode, further disrupt environmental health. What can be done is a return to more sustainable, reusable, and eco-friendly items such as glass containers, metal water bottles, and ceramic utensils. This will teach future generations to choose the better option and eliminate the need for any form of single use plastic, be it synthetic or bio in origin or organic in origin. In conclusion, bioplastics may be an option, but I strongly believe that we need to turn towards using more sustainable, reusable, and eco-friendly items instead of depending on bioplastics to reduce plastic pollution. All right, so I'm done with that 279 words. So I'm going to just now time to edit. How much time do I have? I've got 9 minutes to go. The growing population heavily depends on single world population and single-use plastics can be toxic to the environment as these plastics are non-biodegradable. Some suggest that bioplastics might be a better option. I strongly disagree with this notion for a few reasons. One main reason is the use of bioplastics is not a crucial step towards reducing plastics, is that it still requires a lot of resources to be produced, and the usage of water, burning of biofuels to make these plastics is just as bad as using regular plastic. Therefore, it is not helpful in reducing plastic pollution. Another reason one could say that bioplastic usage is not the way forward is because the use of disposable packaging, even if it's bioplastic, still fosters the attitude that things can be thrown away. This will in turn cause an increase in production of bioplastics, which will then further disrupt environmental health. What can be done is a return to more sustainable, reusable, and eco-friendly items such as glass containers, metal water bottles, and ceramic utensils. This will teach future generations to choose the better option and eliminate the need for any form of single-use plastic, be it synthetic or organic in origin. In conclusion, bioplastics may be an option, but I strongly believe that we need to turn towards more sustainable, reusable, and eco-friendly items instead of depending on bioplastics to reduce plastic pollution. All right, delete my plan. I'm happy with that. Are you happy with that, my friends? Let's mark it, shall we? So I've submitted it. I did it in obviously less than 15 minutes without a template. I just followed a structure. I followed a method. Let's see how I went. Let's do British scoring because I was trained that way. 13.4. Where did I lose marks? I've lost bioplastics. Nope, wrong. Which is R, plastic, single-use plastics. Okay. Of the disposable packaging. All right. So I got 13.4 in well under 15 minutes. Okay. As you can see, content, full marks. Form, full marks. Grammar, 1.4, but this is wrong. This is completely wrong. It's not a spelling error. It's bioplastics, not politics. So I'm not going to even take that. Spelling, I lost a mark for that. Vocabulary range, great. Linguistic range, good. Development, great. All right. Everything can be done if you follow the structure. You do not need a template. All right, friends. See you in a minute. Let's do another, shall we? All right, friends. So I'm about to choose over here. As you can see, I'm just doing a quick voiceover. I'm going to compress less than 10 minutes into a couple of seconds or less than 2 minutes all up for you to see how I build an essay. This second essay, it is about ocean exploration and whether or not ocean exploration is as important as space exploration. Now, first thing I do is come up with a plan. My plan is to answer the question immediately in the introduction, and then I'm going to write out two body paragraphs, and then finally conclusion. You will see at the end of this that I will show you the marking, and I will also show you where I made any mistakes, if there are any, and of course, what can be done if you get stuck idea wise. We're going to talk about that when we're all done with this. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just typing and typing and typing. I'm going to read it and then I'm going to submit. See you in a minute. All right, friends, so I have submitted. Let's mark it, shall we? As you can see, I completed it in less than 10 minutes, but that's okay. I would really wrote a short one. It was quick. Let's do British marking. Let's see how we went, shall we? Fingers crossed it's not too bad. All right, so I got a 14. It says some spelling technologically. Tech. Oh my goodness, there's a spelling mistake over there. My apologies. So one spelling mistake, I lost 1 point for that. No dramas. I'm not upset about that at all. Content, great. Form, great. Grammar, great. Spelling, I wrote the word technologically incorrectly, but that's okay. Vocabulary range, linguistic range, all good, good, good. And development structure and coherence is all great. As you can see, it's one, two, three, four paragraphs, introduction, body one, body two, and conclusion. Very clear. I directly answered the question. If this would hold up even as a pretty low scoring IELTS essay, but even then, still pretty good. Okay. Alrighty, my friends. So there you have it. All right, friends. So there you have it. We practiced and I demonstrated how I would write an essay really quickly. I understand some of you are going to turn around and say, but Rena, I can't come up with ideas. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can come up with ideas, and I'm going to tell you how to do it. You need to start reading. You need to start thinking. Stop trying to memorize the templates and start learning how to think on your feet. It doesn't matter what language you're thinking in, it's when you type, you're typing in English. That's all you need to do. Okay? So I'm sure that with practice, you're going to be okay. Thank you so much for listening through. And as you can see, I do not use a template. This method will work in any exam. It will hold up and you will get pretty high scores. Of course, don't make silly mistakes like I did. I spelled the word technologically wrongly in that last one. I actually really enjoy writing these essays. I think they're really fun. And I think you're going to be okay if you have a go. Thank you so much for listening. And I don't know if I will be back next week. We're coming to the end of term 4 here in Australia, which means summer holidays are about to start. For schools here, the school year ends on the 12th of December, which means parents, kids are home. You're probably not going to be studying anyways. Thank you so much. And if I don't see you next week, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. But I most probably will see you next week. Thanks, everyone. Bye.